have here a collection of polishing pads, buffing pads, and they're designed to do different things. They're made out of different materials. This group here is made by Buff and Shine. This comes from Detailed Image, and this is Lake Country. I think this is a Buff and Shine. This is Rupes, P&S, Lake Country, and 3M, Lake Country. So there's a variety of different DRC. There's a variety of different companies that make pads, and you notice there are various textures, and they all do different things. So this is what's called a medium cut. They also have a heavy cut pad. This is a heavy polishing. This is a fine polishing, and this is just I don't see it on here, but this is a polishing pad, but it's a little bit more aggressive than this one. So one way you can tell is if you feel the pads, the density. So this one is softer versus this one, and this one is a little harder than the yellow, and then this maroon is much more hard than the blue. So you notice how easy I press that versus I have to work to. And now you can see the indentations, maybe, possibly. But they're designed to do different things. So the more dense, they're more aggressive. If they're softer, they're not as aggressive. They're going to do things like apply a fine polish, do polishing, apply waxes, and so you need to be able to, and they're designed for different machines. So these are for what's called a long throw machine. In this case, 21 millimeter. And so you have a different diameter. So the 21 millimeter throw has a 6-inch backing plate, and then you have, this is designed for the Rupes long throw, like a 15 millimeter, have the 5-inch. And the thing about these pads, these are wool pads, and they're designed to cut to, as we just describe it in the detailing world, is the cut. So you're basically taking away paint. All these are, in some degree, is removing paint, some more than others. So these are the most aggressive. And you have the microfiber. We got microfiber, wool, and foam. So those are the three pads the three different types that I use mostly. So these are very aggressive as well. Actually, they're probably about as aggressive as these. So on the scale, these work best with long throw machines, dual action polishers. These work best with gear driven, rotary. But Rupes has one that's made for their machine, so they make this specifically for their machine. So it works very well in terms of cutting, removing sandy marks, scratches, fine scratches. In some cases, some heavy scratches, but it's definitely good, and it finishes well. It leaves a nice shine depending on the polish you're using, or the compound you're using. So this is also a microfiber pad. It's a polishing pad, so it's not as abrasive as this. So the key with any of these pads is knowing what they do and how they work and matching them with the right machine. This is a wax pad, so apply waxes. This is a light polishing. This is more dense than this one here. So the color doesn't necessarily determine what a pad does. Both of these are polishing pads. They're white, but other companies may use another color scheme. So you can't get accustomed to just knowing the colors, because they would change based on the manufacturer. Because Lake Country also makes foam pads in addition to the microfiber. Rupes makes foam pads, and this is a P&S pad. So I think they carry some other types, but I know they have the wool. I can't remember what all they carry. And so they're different diameters. But one of the key things is if you ever seen someone having their car waxed and they're using this pad, that's a big no-no. This is not for wax at all, because what it's going to do is leave hazing, waves. You may see a little waves in the paint, particularly if it's not used correctly, because you can use this and still leave a nice finish. It may be a little hazy, but it won't have all the waves, but then you'll come back with a softer pad that's going to smooth out those waves and give you a nice gloss. So knowing how to use it and when to use it is important. But this is one of those where the paint looks really bad and you have enough paint to work with. It's thick enough to work with, where you can remove a large portion of the defects. You may not get it perfect, but you will be able to knock down a lot of the scratches and refine the paint. And the chemicals, you have to match it up with chemicals. And under this cart, this is my cart I use for paint correction. So under this cart is probably about 50 pads, maybe more. So different pads. I have a variety of machines. I have a long throw 21. I have a 15 millimeter long throw. I have a forced action. These actually work with forced action, something like a flex, gear driven. I have a DA, little Porter cable DA, so that's good for applying a wax or cleaner wax. So you definitely want to be able to match your machines up with the right pad, and with not being too aggressive. Or when you are aggressive, you know how to come back and refine that. Because if you go hard, you need to come back with something a little softer. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, have a good day.